Hello everyone. My name is Roy Walker. It has been my privilege to be the coordinator for our summer youth program this year called Green Entrepreneurial Leadership Institute, also known as GELIAN. It has been an exciting and rewarding and learning experience for me and a wonderful opportunity to work with some of the finest young people here in Larue County. Right now, I would like to thank our panel of judges for taking time from their busy schedules to judge our Best of Larue County event. We have with us Mr. Tommy Turner, Larue County Judge Executive, Mr. Terry Cruz, our Mayor of Hodgenville, and Mr. Josh Henderson, Social Studies teacher here at Larue County High School. They will judge our competition for today and decide the winning team. Again, gentlemen, thank you for your time. Again, our summer youth program is called Green Entrepreneurial Leadership Institute. The program is funded by the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act of 2009. GELIAN is managed by Hardin County Schools, the Lincoln Trail Innovation Center, and Kentucky Student Ventures. The GELIAN program is designed with an environmental focus in an effort for our participants to become more educated about our environment. Hopefully, through their experiences in the program, they will become leaders and inspire others to become more environmentally aware. As the coach of the Larue County GELIAN group, I have learned a great deal about our environment through our experiences that we have shared in the program. I have a better understanding about our environment and a deeper appreciation for the need to take care of our planet. There are things that everyone can do to help make our environment greener. The two groups that represent Larue County today have been working very diligently the past 5 weeks to learn more about our environment through classroom lectures, education videos, field trips, and working on job sites. They have learned about recycling, energy conservation, ecosystem preservation, and wildlife protection. I would like to introduce to you our two groups today. The Infinite Energy team members are Nicole Carter, Hannah Partridge, Samantha Sidebottom, and Elizabeth Upton. The Run of the River team members are Max McCubbin, Bethany Miller, and Aletha Tharp. I would personally like to thank both groups for working so hard. It really has been a privilege and an honor to coach these young people. They have done an excellent job in representing our county. Thank you both. Our competition today is called the Best of Larue County. Our two groups of participants have been asked to create a sustainable, low-cost business with a green focus. The project is designed to unleash each group's entrepreneurial spirit in an effort to make the community of Hodgenville and Larue County greener. Each team will present their project through a PowerPoint presentation. The winning team will be decided by our panel of judges. The winning team will receive the award Best of Larue County, and each team member will receive a personal computer and a printer. The Best of Larue County team will go on to compete against 7 other counties in an event called Green Summer Forever. This event will be held on Friday, July 31st at the Pritchard Community Center at 10 o'clock in Hardin County. The morning agenda will feature keynote speakers and team competitions followed by a totally green luncheon. With all that being said, the first group that is going to present for us today will be Run of the River.
Good morning. We want to thank everybody for coming. We're Team Run of the River, and this is our presentation.
You can go ahead. For thousands of years, hydropower has been used to generate electricity from falling water. Our nation's first large-scale hydropower project took place in 1880, with the first hydropower plant being developed 2 years later. Go ahead. It is considered the most important and widely used form of energy. Hydropower represents 20% of total electricity production in the U.S., making them 10th in the world in that category. And there are only 2 states that use hydropower right now. They're Oregon and Washington, and the rest of the 48 use a non-renewable resource. Hydropower plants' output totaled 675,000 megawatts in 2007, the energy equivalent of 3.6 billion barrels of oil. Some people regard hydroelectric power as the ideal source of power. Hydropower is considered to be a clean, renewable source of energy, emitting very low levels of greenhouse gases when compared to fossil fuels. It has a low operating cost once installed and can be highly automated. An additional benefit is that the power is generally available on demand since the flow of water can be controlled. There are 2 types of hydropower plants. The first is conventional and the second is pumped storage. Conventional. Most hydropower plants are conventional in design, meaning they use one-way flow of water to generate electricity. There are 2 categories of conventional plants: run-of-the-river and storage plants. Run-of-river plants. These plants use little, if any, stored water to provide water flow through the turbines. Although some plants store days or weeks' worth of water, weather changes cause run-of-river plants to experience significant fluctuations in water output. You can go back. Storage plants have enough storage capacity to offset seasonal fluctuations in water flow and provide a constant supply of electricity throughout the year. Large dams can store several years' worth of water. Pumped storage, in contrast to conventional hydropower plants, pumped storage plants reuses water. After water initially produces electricity, it flows from the turbines into a lower reservoir located below the dam. During off-peak hours, periods of low demand, some of the water is pumped into an upper reservoir and reused during periods of peak demand. This form of energy stems from using water's energy as it flows from higher to lower elevation, which rotates turbines to create electricity. That picture shows how a hydropower plant is run. The simple workings of a hydropower plant has water flowing through a dam, which turns a turbine, which then turns a generator. A hydropower plant, including a powerhouse, generally includes the following steps. First, the dam holds water back and stores water upstream into a reservoir or a large artificial lake. The reservoir is often used for multiple purposes. Some hydroelectric dams do not impound water, but instead use the power of the flowing river and are known as run-of-the-river. Second, gates open on the dam, allowing gravity to pull the water down through the penstock. An intake valve carries water from the reservoir to turbines inside the powerhouse. Pressure builds up as water flows through the pipeline. Third, the water then hits the large blades of the turbine, making them turn. The vertical blades are attached through a shaft to a generator located above. Fourth, the turbine blades turn in unison with a series of magnets inside the generator. Fifth, the transformer inside the powerhouse converts it to a higher voltage current to allow electricity to flow to customers. Sixth, out of every power plant exit 4 power lines consisting of 3 wires associated with 3 power phases and a neutral ground wire. And seventh, used water is carried through outflow pipes, which re-enters the river downstream.
Okay, the formula used to determine the available power is power equals head times flow times gravity. Power is the number of watts available after multiplying the 3 factors. Head is the distance the water falls from the dam into the turbine. It's measured in meters. Flow is the number of liters that run over the dam per second, and gravity is a constant factor. Behind the recycling center in Hodgenville, there is a river that flows over a dam. Our plan is to convert the falling water into hydroelectric power that could fuel the recycling center and the nearby firehouse. The time has come for the city of Hodgenville to move forward and begin exploring different energy solutions. Through the process of meeting with city officials, we will be able to get the word out on the many advantages that our project has to offer. The dam we are using has a head of a little over 3 meters. The flow is 94.6, and when you multiply it by gravity, they produce 1,700 watts. This is a picture of our generator. It produces 3 kilowatts per hour, and they cost $1,600. We're going to need 2 of these to produce the necessary amount of energy. Right now, there are no projects like ours underway in Kentucky, so by doing this project, we hope to get statewide attention and make hydropower a more frequently used source of energy and move away from coal, which is our primary source. Our role in this project is to design the layout of the project and ensure that the plan will be carried out by city officials. Once the proposed plan is out of the developmental stage, the responsibilities will be in the hands of the city. They will need to hire electricians, engineers, and any other necessary personnel for the job. Our customers will be the city of Hodgenville and all of its citizens. Our main function will be to get our ideas circulating by attending city functions and advertising if necessary. We will need to contact the local newspaper and radio station as well. The point of doing this will be to get the community behind us and gain their support.
The method of producing electricity that we are proposing has many benefits as a product. There is very little pollution due to the absence of fossil fuels. Greenhouse gas emissions are dramatically reduced, whereas using the standard method of electricity damages the environment severely. The water that is needed to run the system is provided free by nature in the form of rainfall, which is always renewable. The maintenance and operation costs would be minimal, therefore saving the city valuable dollars. Hydroelectric power also has disadvantages. Dams can block fish passage to the ocean, although many plants now have measures in place to help reduce this impact. The diversion of water can impact stream flow or even cause a river channel to dry out, degrading habitats in the area. Hydroelectric plants can also have an impact on the quality of water by lowering the amount of dissolved oxygen in the water. However, in our project, most of these problems will not apply. The impact on wildlife will not be a factor, considering that there is no wildlife to begin with. We don't feel like the investment is out of reach, and the water quality will remain stable even with the introduction of new equipment. To fund this project, we will be asking the city for help. If money has not been set aside for a community project such as this, we will look for other sources of funding. Our first choice would be through private and public donations coming from within the area. Another option would be applying for a grant from the government. A qualified city official would help write the grant and would handle the day-to-day process of creating a successful campaign for a grant. Currently, the recycling center spends about $720 a year in electrical bills. The firehouse that is across the street spends about $540 each year, and that brings the total to $1,260 per year. We've calculated the startup expenses to be approximately $6,000, and we hope to raise at least $3,000 with outside funding. If our idea was put into effect, the city of Hodgenville would no longer have to pay for electricity for these facilities, considering the water power will be free. After 4.76 years, the cost of building the system will be paid off, and all money saved thereafter can be considered profit. With the help of outside funding, the payback period will shorten. By reaching our target goal of raising $3,000, the period will decrease to half of the original time. Once again, we'd like to remind you of the benefits of this program. First of all, it would save the city some much needed money and would allow other programs to receive money that they have not over the past few years. The environmental benefits would be obvious when using this clean source of energy as opposed to the old method. And finally, and maybe most importantly, the community awareness of going green would improve significantly. We believe that the people would be proud of having such a program in the community. The ideas behind our project would hopefully spread and encourage people to make other aspects of their lives more green. This is our model, and the water will run into the trough here, which will then feed into these pipes and will run down and turn the turbines into the generator, which will produce the power, and the transformer will run that to the electrical lines, which will then run to the recycling center and the firehouse.
This is the poster we made for our booth. There's a few statistics on here. The United States is 10th in the world for hydroelectric use. Norway is the first country. And about 7% of the United States electricity comes from hydropower. The main source is coal and natural gas.
And we'd like to thank all of these people: Martin and Lisa Williams, Bobby Clark, Mr. Roy Walker, Miss Clarissa Thomas, Jill Gray, Jerry from the water treatment plant, all of our guest speakers, and of course the judges. Thank you.
My name is Hannah Partridge.
I'm Nicole Carter.
I'm Liz Upton.
I'm Samantha Sidebottom.
And I would like to take this time to welcome you to our school, and I would also like to thank you for coming today and listening to our presentation. Next slide. In our presentation, we will talk to you briefly about three main topics. The The first will be about how switching from an incandescent bulb to a fluorescent bulb will save you energy and money. The second topic that we will cover is the idea of an outdoor classroom here in Hodgenville. The last topic will be the importance of having a rain garden. Our main focus to begin with was to save energy. By saving energy, we would improve the environment, which in turn could improve our health. On top of these things, you could also save money, which everyone loves to do. On this slide, we are giving examples of how you can easily save money. By turning off lights in areas you do not use, you can do this easily just by turning off the light as you walk out of the room. That could significantly change your electric bill. And for using daylight and skylights, just open your windows or blinds. Fill your house with a natural light. And for install occupancy sensors, those you put motion detectors and then they won't be on when you're not there. And install photocells for outdoor lighting and lights in rooms with adequate daylighting. And then to replace incandescent lights with compact fluorescent lights. Just making this simple change from an incandescent to a fluorescent, it has shown in studies that you do save a significant amount of money, which we will see later on in the slideshow. In this, it shows the difference between the two lights, and the lights are more efficient and it has a longer life, and the color rendering is fair. They are brighter, and then it requires a ballast, but they're usually attached or they come with the light, and then a direct screw-in replacement for incandescent lamps are available. And now I'm going to turn it over to Nicole Carter.
Hi. You can turn the slide. Okay. How the fluorescent lights work. The UV radiation created in tube is electrode. Phosphor on inside of the tube converts UV to the white visible light, and ballast used to increase frequency of power so the lamps last much longer, and that's a chart kind of tell you how it goes. So you can turn the thing now. Okay. Glance at this chart. It shows you the difference between an incandescent bulb versus a fluorescent bulb. When you first look at the prices, it's true that the fluorescent is more costly, but if you look further down the road on the chart, you will see that in the long run it costs you less and saves money and energy. Our outdoor classroom. Kids these days love to be outside. They love to play outside. They love to learn outside. But there are so many distractions such as video games, TVs, cell phones, computers, and everything else. Through having an outdoor classroom, we would get the kids outside and in different learning environment instead of being inside all day. Being outside, the children would have the chance to observe nature. Also, it would make the kids feel as if they're helping out and they're doing something that makes a difference. And they'll want to do it more often. It'll motivate them to do it more. Almost any subject can be learned outside. Math, science, social studies, art, language arts, everything. You can turn it. Kids needs to be occupied when they are in school, but in a way that they will love it, what they're doing. They have to like it and have fun with it to want to do it.
Being outside in a natural setting will help build communication and help them to work together. We have all heard that we need to play well with others. What better way to learn than to be outside in a fun learning environment? We hope to start an outdoor classroom at Hodgenville Elementary School. We hope to have it look somewhat like these two pictures. Next, we will be talking about rain gardens. A rain garden is a garden which takes advantage of rainfall and stormwater runoff in its design and plant selection. A rain garden is a small by orientation cell in which stormwater is cleaned and reduced in volume once it enters the rain garden. There are two basic types of rain gardens: under-drained and self-contained. An under-drained rain garden, this can move excess water into a conventional storm sewer pipe system. Typically are designed to drain within 2 hours of the design storm event. A self-contained rain garden typically holds moisture longer, particularly in the lower areas of the garden. As in the case of the under-drained rain garden, the surface is drained within 4 hours, although the soil may be saturated. Tools you may need for a rain garden: tape measure, shovels, rakes, towels, carpenter's level wooden stakes, shrink, 2x4 boards. You don't need them. Small backhoe or frames.
We on 17? Preparing for a rain garden, you'll need to kill the existing grass before you begin. The best way to kill the grass is to place black plastic over the area where the rain garden will be. You need to lay out an outline, and after that, you're ready to start digging. The success of a rain garden: to start with a healthy and smaller plants rather than larger plants, so that they have time to adapt to the situation you put them in. Make sure they're sited close to the source of the runoff so that they can slow down the water as it travels downhill, and it has plenty of time to infiltrate the ground and less opportunity to gain momentum and power. There's a plan for planning and caring for your rain garden. Consider all physical site restrictions and limitations. Choose plants that are appropriate for the sunlight exposure and soil conditions for your garden. Choose plants that can tolerate standing water for up to 48 hours, and plants that can tolerate some periods of drought. Choose plants that are aesthetically pleasing to you. You want them to look pretty for everybody. You may want to choose a theme. You can have, I've read about like fairy tale kind of rain garden and stuff like that. Many people choose plants that attract hummingbirds or butterflies. They can create a habitat for animals or insects. It's always desirable to use native plants because they're more disease resistant and tolerant to local conditions, and they're better for the environment to have the natural plants. They won't bring in alien species and stuff like that. After planting your rain garden, it's a good idea to mulch the entire garden with hardwood shavings. The mulch aids in the cleansing properties of the garden, and hardwood mulch does not float away. Remember that your rain garden is a garden. It will take time for the plants to become established, and the rain garden will need to be watered periodically and weeded. You will also need to remulch every couple of years. We would like to plant a rain garden at the Creekfront Park in Hodgenville. After it rains, the walkways are covered in water and they create puddles in the grass. In some of our pictures, we have some like through here, and the reason we want to do this: it makes good use of water runoff, thus conserving precious water supplies and helping protect the water quality of downstreams and lakes and rivers. It helps cut down the pollution, like washing litter into the creek and into the storm drains, and cut down all the mud and dirt getting into all that. These are our models. Here's our outdoor classroom, which this is supposed to be Hodgenville Elementary. We set up little benches here. You only need a few little kids, just about 20 of them in a classroom. A little podium down here. Then our rain garden up here. We put in some plants and a little rain barrel to catch rain as it comes down if you need to water the plants. And we just want to thank you guys for coming again and listening to our presentation.
Our judges have finished calculating the scores, and they've come up with their totals. And the Infinite Energy group had a total score of 236 points. And the Run of the River group had a total of 238 points. So that was extremely close. Excellent job by both groups. So our winner and best of Larue County event, congratulations to Run of the River. Come and get your trophy. Again, I would like to thank everyone for being here today. And I would like to say good luck to Run of the River group in the Green Summer Forever event competition next week. Thank you.